This is Mental Forge, where weakness burns and warriors are built. There's a moment in every person's life when they stand at the crossroads between mediocrity and magnificence. It's that defining instant when the universe seems to whisper, "Are you ready to claim what's truly yours?" Today, I want to share with you something that could change everything about how you see yourself and your potential. What if I told you that greatness isn't reserved for the chosen few, but rather, it's a birthright waiting to be claimed by those who recognize the signs and take deliberate action? You see, throughout history, every single person who achieved extraordinary things had something in common. They possessed certain unmistakable characteristics, certain signs that set them apart from the masses. These weren't accidents of birth or strokes of luck. They were patterns, behaviors, and mindsets that can be identified, understood, and most importantly, cultivated within yourself. Today, we're going to explore 12 profound signs that indicate you're destined for greatness. But this isn't just about recognition. This is about transformation. By the end of our time together, you'll not only understand these signs, but you'll have the tools, the mindset, and the framework to embody them completely. You'll learn how to rewire your subconscious mind for success, how to build unshakable belief in yourself, and how to create a life of abundance that reflects your true potential. The first sign that you're destined for greatness is that you feel different, sometimes uncomfortably so. You've always sensed that you were meant for something more than the ordinary path that most people follow. This isn't arrogance or delusion. It's an inner knowing, a calling that refuses to be silenced no matter how much the world tries to convince you to settle for less. This feeling of being different often manifests as a deep dissatisfaction with mediocrity. You can't understand why people accept jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, or lives that feel like slow death. You've always been the one asking, why can't things be better? Why can't I have more? Why can't I create something meaningful? This internal restlessness isn't a flaw to be fixed. It's the divine spark of greatness stirring within you. Napoleon Hill, in his masterpiece Think and Grow Rich, wrote extensively about this phenomenon. He called it the burning desire, the starting point of all achievement. Hill discovered through his study of over 500 successful individuals that every single one possessed this quality. They felt different because they were different. They carried within them the seed of greatness that most people allow to lie dormant. But here's what's crucial to understand. Feeling different isn't enough. You must learn to honor that feeling and translate it into purposeful action. The great ones throughout history didn't just feel different, they acted different. They made decisions that others couldn't understand. They took risks that others wouldn't take. They persisted when others gave up. Consider the story of Oprah Winfrey, born into poverty in rural Mississippi. From her earliest memories, she felt different. While other children played, she was drawn to reading, to learning, to understanding the deeper currents of human experience. She was often ridiculed for her intensity, her seriousness, her refusal to accept the limitations that others tried to impose on her. But that feeling of being different drove her to create one of the most influential media empires in history. The second sign of destined greatness is an insatiable hunger for growth and learning. You're not content with what you know today. There's something within you that constantly pushes you to expand, to evolve, to become more than you were yesterday. This isn't casual curiosity. This is a burning need to understand, to master, to transcend your current limitations. This hunger manifests in many ways. You might find yourself staying up late, reading books on personal development, watching educational videos, or engaging in deep conversations about life's big questions. You're drawn to mentors, to teachers, to anyone who can help you see further and climb higher. You understand intuitively that your current level of thinking created your current level of results. And if you want different results, you must think differently. The neuroscience behind this is fascinating. When you consistently challenge your brain with new information and experiences, you literally rewire your neural pathways. You create new connections that allow for more complex thinking, better decision-making, and enhanced creativity. This process, called neuroplasticity, is one of the most powerful tools available to anyone seeking to transform their life. Here's a daily practice that will accelerate your growth exponentially. Every morning, before you check your phone or get caught up in the day's demands, spend 30 minutes learning something new. Read a chapter from a book that challenges your thinking. Listen to a podcast that expands your perspective. Watch a video that teaches you a new skill. This simple practice, done consistently, will compound over time and create extraordinary results. The third sign is that you have an unshakable belief in possibility. While others see obstacles, you see opportunities. While others focus on why something can't be done, you're already figuring out how to do it. This isn't blind optimism. It's a deep understanding that the universe is abundant and that limitations exist primarily in the mind. This belief in possibility is what separates dreamers from achievers. Dreamers hope things will get better. Those destined for greatness know they will make things better. They understand that they are not victims of circumstance but creators of destiny. They refuse to accept external conditions as permanent limitations on their potential. Thomas Edison embodied this principle perfectly. When he was working on the incandescent light bulb, he failed over 1,000 times. When asked about these failures, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." His unshakable belief in possibility drove him to persist until he revolutionized the world. To cultivate this belief in yourself, practice what I call possibility thinking. Every time you encounter a challenge or setback, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this trying to teach me, and how can I use this to become stronger?" This simple shift in questioning will train your mind to see opportunities where others see only problems. The fourth sign of destined greatness is that you take full responsibility for your life. You understand that you are the author of your story, the creator of your circumstances, and the architect of your future. This isn't about blame or guilt, it's about power. When you take responsibility, you reclaim your power to change anything you don't like about your life. Most people live as victims of their circumstances. They blame their past, their parents, their education, their economy, their government, or their luck for their current situation. But those destined for greatness understand a fundamental truth. While you cannot control what happens to you, you can always control how you respond to what happens to you. This principle is beautifully illustrated in the life of Viktor Frankl, the Austrian psychiatrist who survived the Nazi concentration camps. In his profound book, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl wrote that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, the ability to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Despite facing unimaginable horror, Frankl chose to find meaning and purpose in his suffering, ultimately using his experience to help millions of people find hope and resilience. Taking responsibility begins with changing your language. Instead of saying "I have to," say "I choose to." Instead of saying "I can't," say "I haven't learned how yet." Instead of saying "that's just the way I am," say "I'm working on becoming better." These simple linguistic changes will begin to shift your mindset from victim to victor. Here's a powerful exercise to strengthen your responsibility muscle. At the end of each day, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do well today? What could I have done better? What will I do differently tomorrow? This practice will train your mind to focus on what you can control and continuously improve rather than making excuses or blaming external circumstances. The fifth sign is that you have a clear vision of your future. You don't just hope for a better tomorrow. You have a specific, detailed picture of what your ideal life looks like. You can describe your goals with clarity and precision. You know not just what you want, but why you want it and how you plan to achieve it. This vision isn't wishful thinking. It's a mental blueprint that guides your decisions and actions. Every choice you make is filtered through this vision. Does this move me closer to my goals or further away? This clarity of purpose is what allows you to say no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. Napoleon Bonaparte understood the power of vision better than most. Before every military campaign, he would spend hours studying maps, visualizing every possible scenario, and planning his strategy in meticulous detail. He famously said, "I can see only the objective. The obstacles must give way." This laser focus on the end goal, combined with detailed planning, made him one of history's greatest strategic minds. To develop your vision, you must go beyond surface-level goals. Don't just say, "I want to be rich." Instead, define exactly what wealth means to you. How much money do you want to earn? What will you do with that money? How will it feel to have financial freedom? What impact will you make on the world? The more specific and emotionally compelling your vision, the more power it will have to pull you forward. Here's a visualization exercise that will help you clarify and strengthen your vision. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 5 years from now, living your ideal life. What do you see? Where are you living? What are you doing? Who are you with? How do you feel? Engage all your senses. Make the vision as vivid and real as possible. Practice this visualization daily and watch as your subconscious mind begins to guide you toward making it reality. The sixth sign of destined greatness is that you understand the power of discipline and delayed gratification. You're willing to do what others won't do today, so you can have what others won't have tomorrow. You understand that freedom comes through discipline, not despite it. You're willing to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term gain. This principle is at the heart of every great achievement. Whether it's building a business, mastering a skill, or creating wealth, success always requires the ability to delay immediate gratification in favor of future rewards. This isn't about living a joyless life of constant sacrifice. It's about making conscious choices that align with your long-term vision rather than being enslaved by immediate impulses. The Stanford Marshmallow Experiment, conducted by psychologist Walter Mischel, demonstrated the incredible power of delayed gratification. Children who were able to wait for a second marshmallow instead of eating the first one immediately were found to have better life outcomes decades later, including higher SAT scores, better social competence, and lower rates of obesity and substance abuse. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Start small and build gradually. If you want to develop the habit of exercise, don't try to work out for 2 hours on your first day. Start with 10 minutes and gradually increase. If you want to build wealth, don't try to save half your income immediately. Start with 5% and increase over time. The key is consistency, not intensity. Here's a powerful daily practice that will strengthen your discipline. Choose one small action that moves you toward your goals and commit to doing it every day for 30 days. It could be reading for 20 minutes, exercising for 15 minutes, or saving $10. The specific action doesn't matter as much as the consistency. This practice will train your brain to follow through on commitments and build the foundation for larger achievements. The seventh sign is that you're comfortable with being uncomfortable. You understand that growth occurs outside your comfort zone, and you're willing to lean into discomfort rather than away from it. You see challenges not as problems to be avoided, but as opportunities to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. This comfort with discomfort is what allows great people to take risks that others won't take, to have conversations that others avoid, and to pursue opportunities that others are too afraid to consider. They understand that temporary discomfort is the price of permanent improvement. Consider the story of Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. When she first had the idea for her revolutionary undergarments, she had no experience in fashion, no business connections, and no formal training in entrepreneurship. She spent 2 years being rejected by manufacturer after manufacturer. Each rejection was uncomfortable, embarrassing, and discouraging. But instead of giving up, she used each rejection as feedback to improve her pitch and refine her product. Her willingness to be uncomfortable ultimately led to building a billion-dollar company. The eighth sign of destined greatness is that you have an abundance mindset rather than a scarcity mindset. You believe there's enough success, wealth, and opportunity for everyone. You don't see other people's success as a threat to your own. Instead, you're inspired by their achievements and use them as proof of what's possible. This abundance mindset is crucial because it affects every aspect of your life. When you believe in abundance, you're more likely to take risks, more willing to help others, and more open to opportunities. You operate from a place of confidence rather than fear. You focus on creating value rather than protecting what you have. The scarcity mindset, on the other hand, is based on the false belief that there's a limited amount of success available. People with this mindset hoard information, avoid risks, and see every interaction as a zero-sum game where someone must lose for someone else to win. This mindset is not only limiting but also creates a self-fulfilling prophecy of lack and limitation. Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest men in history, embodied the abundance mindset perfectly. Despite coming from poverty, He always believed in the unlimited potential for wealth creation. He didn't just build his own fortune. He helped dozens of others become millionaires through his mentorship and partnerships. His famous quote, "Teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision," reflects his understanding that abundance increases when shared. To develop an abundance mindset, practice celebrating other people's success. When you hear about someone achieving something great, instead of feeling jealous or threatened, consciously choose to feel inspired and grateful. Say to yourself, "If they can do it, so can I." This simple practice will begin to rewire your brain for abundance rather than scarcity. Here's another powerful exercise. Make a list of 10 ways you could create value for others in the next month. It could be sharing helpful information, making introductions, offering encouragement, or providing a service. Focus on giving first, without expecting anything in return. This practice will train your mind to see opportunities everywhere and attract abundance into your life. Before we continue exploring the remaining signs, I want to take a moment to say that if you're finding value in this content, if these ideas are resonating with you and inspiring you to think differently about your potential, please consider subscribing to this channel. We're building a community of growth-minded individuals who are committed to achieving their highest potential, and I'd love to have you as part of that journey. The ninth sign of destined greatness is that you understand the power of association. You're very selective about who you spend time with, because you understand that you become like the people you associate with most. You actively seek out mentors, peers, and friends who challenge you to grow and who support your vision of greatness. The old saying that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with isn't just folk wisdom, it's backed by extensive research. Social psychologists have demonstrated that we unconsciously adopt the attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors of those around us. If you're surrounded by negative, limited thinking people, you'll inevitably absorb some of that negativity and limitation. But if you surround yourself with positive, success-minded individuals, you'll naturally elevate your own thinking and behavior. This principle was understood by Benjamin Franklin, one of America's founding fathers and a self-made success in multiple fields. Franklin deliberately surrounded himself with other ambitious, intelligent individuals through various clubs and societies. He founded the Junto, a club of aspiring artisans and tradesmen who met weekly to discuss morals, politics, and philosophy. This association with like-minded individuals helped him develop the ideas and connections that made him successful as a printer, inventor, diplomat, and statesman. Choosing your associations doesn't mean you should abandon family or friends who don't share your ambitions. It means you should be intentional about who you turn to for advice, who you spend your free time with, and who you allow to influence your thinking. You should actively seek out people who inspire you, challenge you, and believe in your potential. Here's a practical exercise to improve your associations. Make 3 columns on a piece of paper. In the first column, list the people you spend the most time with. In the second column, rate each person on a scale of 1 to 10 based on how much they support your growth and goals. In the third column, note whether you should spend more time, less time, or the same amount of time with each person. Then take action based on your analysis. The 10th sign is that you have unwavering faith in yourself and your abilities. This isn't arrogance or overconfidence. It's a deep, quiet knowing that you can learn whatever you need to learn, overcome whatever obstacles you face, and achieve whatever goals you set. This faith isn't dependent on external validation or proof. It comes from within and remains steady regardless of circumstances. This self-faith is what allows great people to persist when others give up. It's what gives them the courage to attempt what others consider impossible. It's what enables them to bounce back from failures and setbacks that would crush someone with less faith in themselves. Michael Jordan, widely considered the greatest basketball player of all time, demonstrated this unwavering self-faith throughout his career. He was cut from his high school basketball team, told he wasn't good enough to play at that level. Instead of accepting this verdict, he used it as fuel to work harder and prove his doubters wrong. His faith in his abilities never wavered, even when external evidence suggested he should give up. This faith ultimately led him to 6 NBA championships and global recognition as a sports icon. Building unwavering self-faith requires consistent action. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you push through discomfort to achieve a goal, Every time you learn something new or overcome a challenge, you're building evidence that you can trust yourself. This evidence accumulates over time and creates unshakable confidence. Here's a daily practice that will build your self-faith. Each morning, make 3 small commitments to yourself. They could be as simple as drinking 8 glasses of water, reading for 20 minutes, or writing in a journal. The key is to keep these commitments no matter what. This practice will train your subconscious mind to trust that when you say you'll do something, you'll do it. This self-trust is the foundation of unwavering faith. The 11th sign of destined greatness is that you're driven by purpose rather than just profit. While you understand the importance of financial success, your primary motivation comes from a deeper desire to make a meaningful impact on the world. You want your life to matter, to leave a positive legacy, to contribute something valuable to humanity. This purpose-driven approach is what gives great people the strength to persist through difficulties that would stop someone motivated only by money or recognition. When your why is bigger than your obstacles, you find a way to overcome anything. Purpose provides the emotional fuel that powers long-term achievement. Consider the example of Martin Luther King Jr., who dedicated his life to the cause of civil rights. His purpose wasn't personal gain, but social justice and equality for all people. This powerful sense of purpose gave him the strength to face imprisonment, threats, violence, and ultimately death in service of his cause. His legacy continues to inspire millions of people decades after his passing because his purpose was greater than himself. To discover your purpose, ask yourself these questions. What breaks your heart about the world? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What do people consistently come to you for help with? What activities make you lose track of time? The answers to these questions will point you toward your unique purpose and mission in life. Here's an exercise to clarify your purpose. Write your own eulogy. Imagine you've lived a full, successful life, and someone is speaking at your funeral. What would you want them to say about your life? What impact did you have? What legacy did you leave? How did you make the world better? This exercise will help you identify what truly matters to you and guide your decisions going forward. The 12th and final sign that you're destined for greatness is that you take consistent, persistent action despite fear, doubt, or uncertainty. You understand that action is the bridge between dreams and reality. You don't wait for perfect conditions or complete certainty. You move forward with the information you have, adjusting course as needed, but never stopping completely. This bias toward action is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who merely dream. Everyone has fears and doubts. Everyone faces uncertainty. But great people act in spite of these feelings rather than because of them. They understand that clarity comes through engagement, not thought, and that you can't steer a ship that isn't moving. The Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, exemplified this principle when they pursued their dream of powered flight. At the time, many experts believed human flight was impossible. The brothers had no formal engineering training, limited financial resources, and faced numerous failures and setbacks. But they continued to take action, conducting experiment after experiment, making adjustment after adjustment, until they achieved the first powered flight in human history. Their persistent action in the face of uncertainty changed the world forever. Fear will always be present when you're pursuing something meaningful. The key is to develop what I call confident action, the ability to move forward despite fear, rather than waiting for fear to disappear. Fear is often a sign that you're on the right track, that you're pushing beyond your comfort zone into the territory where growth and achievement happen. Here's a powerful technique for taking action despite fear. Use the 5-second rule developed by Mel Robbins. When you know you should do something but feel hesitant or afraid, count down from 5 to 1 and then immediately take physical action. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. This technique bypasses the part of your brain that creates excuses and hesitation, allowing you to act on your intentions before fear can stop you. Now that we've explored all 12 signs of destined greatness, I want to emphasize something crucial. These signs aren't fixed traits that you either have or don't have. They're qualities that can be developed, strengthened, and embodied through conscious choice and consistent practice. Greatness isn't about being perfect. It's about being committed to continuous growth and improvement. The transformation from where you are now to where you're destined to be requires more than just understanding these principles. It requires implementation, practice, and persistence. Knowledge without action is merely entertainment, but knowledge combined with consistent action becomes transformation. Let me share with you a framework for embodying these 12 signs and accelerating your journey toward greatness. I call it the Greatness System, an acronym that captures the essential elements of extraordinary achievement. G stands for goals that are specific, measurable, and emotionally compelling. Your goals should be so clear and inspiring that they pull you forward even when motivation wanes. Write them down, review them daily, and visualize them regularly. R represents routine and daily habits that support your vision. Excellence isn't an act but a habit. As Aristotle wisely observed, create morning and evening routines that set you up for success each day. Small, consistent actions compound over time to create extraordinary results. E stands for education and continuous learning. Commit to learning something new every day. Read books, attend seminars, find mentors, and never stop growing. Your earning capacity is directly related to your learning capacity. A represents association with the right people. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire you, challenge you, and support your growth. Join mastermind groups, seek out mentors, and build relationships with others who are on a similar journey. T stands for taking massive action. Don't just think about your goals. Act on them daily. Take at least one action each day that moves you closer to your vision, no matter how small. Momentum builds on itself. N represents never giving up. Persistence is the ultimate success principle. Every great achievement in history required someone to persist beyond the point where others would have quit. Develop the mindset that failure is simply feedback, not finality. E stands for evolving constantly. Be willing to adapt, learn, and change as you grow. What got you here won't get you there. Stay flexible in your methods while remaining firm in your commitment to your goals. S represents service to others. True greatness always involves making a positive impact on other people's lives. Find ways to serve, contribute, and add value wherever you go. Success shared is success multiplied. S also stands for systems thinking. Create systems and processes that support your goals automatically. Build habits that require minimal willpower to maintain. Design your environment to make success inevitable and failure difficult. To accelerate your transformation, I want to give you specific daily practices that will help you embody each of the 12 signs we've discussed. These aren't just suggestions. They're proven strategies that have been used by successful people throughout history. Each morning, begin with what I call the Power Hour. This is 60 minutes dedicated entirely to your personal growth and goal achievement. During this time, you'll engage in 4 activities that will set the tone for your entire day. First, spend 15 minutes in meditation or quiet reflection. This isn't about emptying your mind, but about focusing it. Use this time to connect with your vision, set your intentions for the day, and cultivate inner peace and clarity. Second, spend 15 minutes reading something that challenges and inspires you. Choose books on personal development, biographies of successful people, or material related to your field of expertise. This daily learning habit will compound over time and give you a significant advantage. Third, spend 15 minutes writing in a journal. Write about your goals, your progress, your challenges, and your insights. This practice will help you process your thoughts, track your growth, and maintain clarity about what matters most. Fourth, spend 15 minutes on physical exercise. This doesn't have to be an intense workout. It could be stretching, walking, or basic calisthenics. The key is to move your body and increase your energy for the day ahead. Throughout the day, practice what I call strategic thinking. Before making any significant decision, ask yourself, does this align with my values? Does this move me closer to my goals? What would the person I'm becoming do in this situation? This habit will help you make choices that support your vision rather than undermine it. In the evening, conduct a brief review of your day. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What could I improve tomorrow? What am I grateful for? This practice will help you learn from your experiences and maintain a positive, growth-oriented mindset. Once a week, engage in what I call vision work. Spend time reviewing and refining your goals, visualizing your ideal future, and planning your next steps. This regular check-in will keep you aligned with your purpose and ensure you're making consistent progress. Now, let me address something that many people struggle with on their journey to greatness. The voice of the inner critic, that internal dialogue that tells you you're not good enough, smart enough, or deserving enough to achieve extraordinary things. This voice isn't your enemy. It's simply your brain's way of trying to keep you safe by avoiding risk and staying within familiar territory. The key to overcoming this inner critic is not to fight it, but to redirect it. When you hear that voice saying you can't do something, respond with evidence of your capabilities. Remind yourself of challenges you've overcome, goals you've achieved, and growth you've experienced. Build a mental file of your successes and refer to it whenever doubt creeps in. Here's a powerful affirmation practice that will help reprogram your subconscious mind for success. Each morning and evening, repeat these statements with conviction and emotion. I am destined for greatness, and I claim my birthright of success. I have unlimited potential and the power to create the life of my dreams. I am worthy of extraordinary achievements and abundant prosperity. I attract opportunities, people, and resources that support my highest good. I am grateful for my journey and excited about my future. I am becoming the person I was meant to be. The emotional intensity with which you repeat these affirmations is crucial. Your subconscious mind responds to emotion more than logic. Feel the truth of these statements as you speak them. See yourself living them. This practice will gradually overwrite limiting beliefs and install empowering ones. As you embark on this journey of embodying greatness, remember that transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that requires patience, persistence, and self-compassion. There will be days when you feel unstoppable and days when you question everything. Both are part of the journey. The key is to maintain long-term perspective while taking short-term action. Focus on progress, not perfection. Celebrate small wins along the way. Learn from setbacks without letting them derail you. Trust the process and trust yourself. I want to share one more historical example that perfectly illustrates the power of embodying these principles. Colonel Sanders, the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken, was 65 years old when he franchised his famous recipe. He had failed at numerous businesses, was living on Social Security, and had only his secret recipe and an unshakable belief in its potential. Sanders embodied every single one of the 12 signs we've discussed. He felt different from others and refused to accept failure as final. He had an insatiable hunger for improvement, constantly refining his recipe and cooking methods. He believed absolutely in the possibility of success despite his age and circumstances. He took full responsibility for his situation and his future. He had a clear vision of building a restaurant empire based on his chicken recipe. He practiced discipline, driving across the country to pitch his idea to restaurant owners. He was comfortable with the discomfort of repeated rejection. He maintained an abundance mindset, believing there was room for everyone to succeed. He chose his associations carefully, partnering with restaurant owners who shared his vision. He had unwavering faith in himself and his recipe, even when others doubted. He was driven by a purpose beyond just making money. He wanted to bring families together around good food. And most importantly, he took consistent action despite countless rejections and setbacks. Sanders was rejected over 1,000 times before finding his first partner. But he never gave up. His persistence eventually paid off, and Kentucky Fried Chicken became a global phenomenon. His story proves that it's never too late to claim your greatness if you're willing to embody these principles. If this message is resonating with you, if you can see yourself in these signs and you're ready to take your life to the next level, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. We're creating content that will support you on every step of your journey to greatness, and I want to make sure you don't miss any of the insights, strategies, and inspiration we'll be sharing. Now, let's talk about building what I call your greatness operating system, a comprehensive framework for living that ensures you consistently embody these 12 signs and accelerate your progress toward your goals. Your greatness operating system consists of 5 core components: mindset, habits, environment, relationships, and systems. Each component is essential, and they work together synergistically to create extraordinary results. Your mindset is the foundation of everything. It's the lens through which you see the world and interpret your experiences. A greatness mindset is characterized by optimism, resilience, growth orientation, and unwavering belief in your potential. This mindset isn't developed overnight. It's cultivated through consistent practice and conscious choice. To develop a greatness mindset, you must become aware of your current thought patterns and consciously choose thoughts that serve your vision. When you catch yourself thinking limiting thoughts, immediately replace them with empowering ones. This isn't positive thinking, it's strategic thinking. You're choosing thoughts that move you toward your goals rather than away from them. Your habits are the daily actions that compound over time to create your results. Successful people don't just have good days. They have good systems that ensure good days happen consistently. Your habits should be designed to support your goals automatically, requiring minimal willpower to maintain. Focus on developing keystone habits, those single actions that naturally trigger other positive behaviors. For example, a morning exercise routine often leads to better eating habits, increased energy, and improved mood throughout the day. Identify 2 or 3 keystone habits that would have the biggest positive impact on your life, and focus on establishing them firmly before adding others. Your environment includes both your physical surroundings and the information you consume. Design your environment to make success inevitable and failure difficult. Remove temptations that derail your progress, and add cues that trigger positive behaviors. If you want to read more, place books in visible locations around your home. If you want to eat healthier, stock your kitchen with nutritious foods and remove junk food. Your information environment is equally important. Be very selective about what you read, watch, and listen to. Consume content that inspires, educates, and motivates you. Limit exposure to negative news, toxic social media, and other information that doesn't serve your growth. Your relationships are the people who influence your thinking, support your goals, and share your journey. As we discussed earlier, you become like the people you spend time with. Invest in relationships with people who challenge you to grow, believe in your potential, and support your vision. This doesn't mean you should only associate with people who are already successful. It means you should seek out people who are growth-minded, positive, and committed to becoming their best selves. Look for individuals who inspire you, mentors who can guide you, peers who can challenge you, and people you can serve and contribute to. Your systems are the processes and structures that ensure consistent progress toward your goals. This includes planning systems, tracking systems, accountability systems, and learning systems. The goal is to create automatic processes that move you forward regardless of motivation, mood, or circumstances. For example, you might create a weekly planning system where you review your goals, assess your progress, and plan your priorities for the coming week. You might establish a tracking system to monitor key metrics related to your goals. You might join a mastermind group for accountability and support. Here's a practical exercise to begin building your greatness operating system. Take some time to assess each of the 5 components in your current life. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in each area. Where are you strongest? Where do you need the most improvement? Then identify one specific action you can take in the next week to improve your lowest rated area. As you work on developing your greatness operating system, remember that this is a long-term project. Don't try to change everything at once. Focus on one component at a time, making small, consistent improvements. These improvements will compound over time and create dramatic results. Let me share with you what I call the 3 pillars of unstoppable progress. These are the fundamental principles that ensure you maintain momentum toward your goals, regardless of circumstances. The first pillar is clarity of vision. You must be absolutely clear about what you want to achieve and why you want to achieve it. This clarity serves as your North Star, guiding your decisions and keeping you focused on what matters most. Your vision should be specific, measurable, and emotionally compelling. Take time regularly to refine and clarify your vision. Write it down in detail. Create a vision board with images that represent your goals. Visualize yourself living your ideal life. The more clear and vivid your vision, the more power it will have to pull you forward. The second pillar is commitment to excellence. Excellence isn't about perfection. It's about consistently giving your best effort and continuously improving. It's about taking pride in your work, holding yourself to high standards, and never settling for mediocrity. Commitment to excellence means showing up even when you don't feel like it, doing quality work even when no one is watching, and continuously seeking ways to improve your performance. It's about being professional in all your dealings and taking responsibility for your results. The third pillar is persistent action. Dreams without action remain dreams. You must be willing to take consistent action toward your goals, even when progress seems slow or obstacles appear insurmountable. This persistence isn't blind stubbornness. It's intelligent persistence that adapts tactics while maintaining focus on the ultimate objective. Persistent action means showing up daily, even when motivation is low. It means taking the next step even when you can't see the entire staircase. It means viewing setbacks as feedback rather than failure, and using challenges as opportunities to grow stronger and more resilient. The combination of these three pillars creates what I call unstoppable momentum. When you have clarity about where you're going, commitment to excellence in everything you do, and persistence in your actions, nothing can prevent you from achieving your goals. Obstacles become stepping stones, and setbacks become setups for comebacks. Now, let's explore some advanced strategies for accelerating your journey to greatness. These are techniques used by the most successful people in the world, and they can dramatically increase your rate of progress when applied consistently. The first advanced strategy is what I call strategic discomfort. This involves deliberately putting yourself in situations that challenge you and force you to grow. Most people avoid discomfort, but those destined for greatness seek it out because they understand that growth only occurs outside the comfort zone. Strategic discomfort might involve taking on projects that stretch your abilities, having difficult conversations you've been avoiding, or learning skills that intimidate you. The key is to choose discomfort that serves your growth rather than random discomfort that doesn't lead anywhere productive. Here's how to implement strategic discomfort in your life. Each week, identify one thing that makes you uncomfortable but would benefit your growth if you did it. It might be networking with successful people in your field, giving a presentation, starting a side business, or having an honest conversation with someone important to you. Then commit to doing that uncomfortable thing within the week. The second advanced strategy is compound learning. This involves choosing learning experiences that build on each other and create exponential rather than linear growth. Instead of randomly consuming information, you strategically select knowledge and skills that complement and amplify each other. For example, if your goal is to build a business, you might focus on learning sales, marketing, and leadership simultaneously. These skills complement each other and create synergistic effects. Your marketing knowledge makes you a better salesperson. Your sales experience informs your marketing strategies, and your leadership skills help you build a team that can execute both. To implement compound learning, identify 3 to 5 core competencies that are essential for achieving your goals. Then focus your learning efforts on these areas, looking for connections and synergies between them. This focused approach will accelerate your progress much faster than scattered learning. The third advanced strategy is reverse engineering success. This involves studying people who have already achieved what you want to achieve and identifying the specific strategies, mindsets, and actions that led to their success. Then you adapt these proven approaches to your own situation. Most people try to reinvent the wheel, but successful people understand that success leaves clues. Why struggle to figure everything out on your own when you can learn from those who have already walked the path you want to travel? To implement reverse engineering, identify 3 to 5 people who have achieved goals similar to yours. Study their biographies, read their books, watch their interviews, and analyze their career paths. Look for patterns in their thinking, decision-making, and actions. Then create a plan to apply these insights to your own journey. The fourth advanced strategy is environmental design. This involves consciously structuring your physical, social, and digital environments to support your goals automatically. Your environment is constantly influencing your behavior, often without your conscious awareness. By designing it strategically, you can make success easier and failure harder. Environmental design might involve organizing your office to maximize productivity, choosing where to live based on opportunities in your field, or curating your social media feeds to expose you to inspiring and educational content. The goal is to create an environment that naturally pulls you toward your goals. Here's a practical exercise for environmental design. Walk through your primary living and working spaces and ask yourself, does this environment support my goals or hinder them? What changes could I make to better align my environment with my vision? Then implement one environmental change each week until your surroundings fully support your success. The fifth advanced strategy is energy management. This involves optimizing your physical, mental, and emotional energy to maximize your effectiveness and sustainable high performance. Energy, not time, is your most valuable resource. You can have all the time in the world, but if you're operating at low energy, you won't accomplish much. Energy management includes optimizing your sleep, nutrition, exercise, stress levels, and recovery practices. It also involves understanding your natural energy cycles and scheduling important work during your peak energy periods. Additionally, it means protecting your energy from people, activities, and environments that drain you unnecessarily. To implement energy management, track your energy levels throughout the day for a week. Note when you feel most alert and focused, when you experience energy dips, and what activities or people affect your energy positively or negatively. Then, redesign your schedule to align important work with high energy periods and minimize energy drains. As we near the conclusion of our journey together, I want to address one of the biggest obstacles that prevents people from achieving greatness: the fear of success. This might sound counterintuitive, but many people are actually more afraid of succeeding than failing. Success brings visibility, responsibility, and the need to maintain higher standards. It can change relationships and create new pressures. If you find yourself sabotaging your progress or pulling back just as things start going well, you might be dealing with fear of success. The solution is to gradually expand your comfort zone with success. Start by achieving smaller goals and getting comfortable with the feelings and responsibilities that come with success. Build confidence in your ability to handle greater achievements. Here's an exercise to overcome fear of success. Write down all your fears about achieving your goals. What are you afraid will happen if you succeed? Then, for each fear, write a rational response and a plan for handling that situation if it arises. This process will help you realize that you can handle success and its accompanying challenges. Another common obstacle is what psychologists call the imposter syndrome, the feeling that you don't deserve your success or that you're somehow fraudulent. This feeling is incredibly common among high achievers and can prevent you from fully stepping into your greatness. The antidote to imposter syndrome is to remember that everyone feels this way sometimes, especially when they're growing and taking on new challenges. Instead of trying to eliminate these feelings, acknowledge them and move forward anyway. Focus on the value you provide and the progress you're making rather than on whether you feel worthy or qualified. Let me share with you a final historical example that perfectly illustrates the journey from ordinary circumstances to extraordinary achievement. This is the story of Andrew Carnegie, a man who embodied every principle we've discussed and became one of the richest and most influential people in history. Carnegie was born into poverty in Scotland and immigrated to America as a child. His family lived in a one-room apartment, and he started working at age 13 to help support them. By any measure, his circumstances suggested a life of struggle and limitation. But Carnegie possessed something that circumstances couldn't touch: an unshakable belief in his potential and an insatiable hunger for growth. He felt different from his peers, refusing to accept poverty as his permanent condition. He had an abundance mindset, believing that America offered unlimited opportunities for those willing to work for them. He took complete responsibility for his life, never blaming his background or circumstances for his situation. Carnegie had a clear vision of wealth and success, and he pursued it with unwavering discipline and persistence. He was comfortable with discomfort, taking risks that others wouldn't take and working longer hours than anyone around him. He understood the power of association, deliberately seeking out successful mentors and business partners. Most importantly, Carnegie was driven by a purpose beyond personal gain. He believed in what he called the gospel of wealth, the idea that successful people have a moral obligation to use their resources to benefit society. This purpose gave him the strength to persist through numerous setbacks and challenges. Carnegie's story proves that your current circumstances don't determine your future possibilities. What matters is how you respond to those circumstances and what you choose to do with the opportunities available to you. He transformed himself from a poor immigrant boy into one of the most successful industrialists in history by embodying the principles of greatness. As we conclude our time together, I want to leave you with what I call the Greatness Declaration. This is a commitment to yourself and your potential that will serve as a foundation for everything you do going forward. I encourage you to write this down, commit it to memory, and refer to it whenever you need inspiration or guidance. The Greatness Declaration states, I am a unique individual with unlimited potential and the power to create extraordinary results in my life. I take full responsibility for my thoughts, actions, and outcomes. I am committed to continuous growth, learning, and improvement. I choose to see opportunities where others see obstacles and possibilities where others see limitations. I surround myself with people who inspire and challenge me to be my best self. I invest in relationships that are mutually beneficial and supportive of growth. I maintain unwavering faith in my abilities and my capacity to overcome any challenge or setback. I am driven by a purpose that is greater than myself and contributes positively to the world. I take consistent action toward my goals, regardless of fear, doubt, or uncertainty. I embrace discomfort as a catalyst for growth and view challenges as opportunities to become stronger and wiser. I maintain an abundance mindset, believing that there is enough success, wealth, and happiness for everyone. I celebrate others' achievements and use them as inspiration for my own journey. I am disciplined in my thoughts, clear in my vision, strong in my values, bold in my actions, and unstoppable in my growth. I am destined for greatness, and I claim that destiny with courage, commitment, and unwavering determination. This declaration isn't just words, it's a way of being. When you truly embrace and embody these principles, your life will transform in ways you never imagined possible. You'll attract opportunities, people, and resources that align with your vision. You'll develop the resilience to overcome any obstacle and the wisdom to turn every experience into a stepping stone toward your goals. Remember, greatness isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's not about reaching a point where you've achieved everything you want and can stop growing. It's about becoming the kind of person who consistently creates value, overcomes challenges, and contributes positively to the world. Every day, you have the opportunity to choose greatness. You can choose thoughts that empower you rather than limit you. You can choose actions that move you toward your goals rather than away from them. You can choose to associate with people who inspire you rather than drain you. You can choose to see setbacks as feedback rather than failure. These choices, made consistently over time, will compound to create a life of extraordinary achievement and fulfillment. You have everything within you right now to begin this transformation. You don't need more information, more resources, or better circumstances. You need commitment, consistency, and the courage to act on what you know. If the ideas we've explored today have inspired you, and you're ready to take your personal growth journey to the next level, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel and become part of our community. We're creating content that will support you every step of the way, sharing strategies, insights, and inspiration that will help you unlock your full potential and achieve your most ambitious goals. I also want to encourage you to share your progress and insights in the comments below. Tell us which of the 12 signs resonated most with you. Share your commitments and goals. Let us know what actions you're going to take as a result of this message. Your sharing not only helps reinforce your own commitment but also inspires and encourages others who are on similar journeys. Remember, you are not alone in this pursuit of greatness. There are millions of people around the world who are committed to growth, excellence, and making a positive impact. By connecting with this community and supporting each other, we all accelerate our progress and achieve results that would be impossible alone. As you move forward from this moment, carry with you the understanding that you are capable of far more than you've ever imagined. The 12 signs we've explored aren't just characteristics to aspire to. They're qualities you can develop and embody starting today. Every single person who has achieved greatness started exactly where you are now, with a decision to become more than they were. Your journey to greatness begins with a single step, a single choice, a single commitment to yourself and your potential. That step might be setting a clear goal, establishing a daily learning habit, choosing better associations, or simply deciding that you will no longer accept mediocrity in any area of your life. Whatever that first step is for you, take it today. Don't wait for perfect conditions or complete certainty. Don't wait until you feel ready or qualified. Greatness is claimed by those who act despite fear, doubt, and uncertainty. It belongs to those who begin before they feel ready and persist long after others have given up. You have been given unique talents, experiences, and perspectives that no one else in the history of the world has ever possessed. This uniqueness isn't accidental, it's purposeful. You are here to contribute something valuable to the world that only you can contribute. Your greatness isn't just about your personal success. It's about the impact you'll have on others and the legacy you'll leave behind. The world needs what you have to offer. It needs your talents, your passion, your unique perspective, and your contribution. But it can only benefit from these gifts if you have the courage to develop them fully and share them boldly. So I challenge you, from this moment forward, to live as the person you were meant to be. Stop playing small. Stop hiding your light. Stop settling for less than your best. You were born for greatness, and it's time to claim your destiny. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. I hope these insights have inspired you to see yourself and your potential in a new light. Remember, greatness isn't reserved for a chosen few. It's available to anyone willing to embrace these principles and take consistent action toward their highest potential. If you found value in this message, please subscribe to our channel and share it with someone who could benefit from these ideas. Together, we're building a community of individuals committed to excellence, growth, and making a positive impact on the world. Until we meet again, remember that you are destined for greatness. Now go forth and claim it. Champions, your mind has been forged a little stronger today, but the real test isn't what you learned, it's what you do with it. Take action, dominate your day, and remember, we're not just building better thoughts, we're forging unstoppable lives. The forge doesn't stop, and neither do you. If this episode hit you where it counts, subscribe to Mental Forge Academy and join the Brotherhood of Champions who refuse to settle for ordinary. Go transform, strike while the mind is hot,